Hi, this is Sharon from Love Lady Luxe, and today I'll be doing my tutorial with a little bit of a twist. So basically what I'm going to be doing is trying to use these Sonia Kashuk brushes in my regular everyday makeup routine. Now obviously I don't wear out there makeup every single day, and I have like my staple look that I do just, you know, when I'm running errands or going to brunch with my boyfriend, or, you know, other various bits and pieces where I don't need to be quite full on, but I still want to wear makeup. So the idea is, for example, somebody starting out with makeup for the first time, you know, they're not going to have a lot of money, they're not going to be used to using brushes yet, and so I feel like the Sonia Kashuk brushes are a really great investment when you're starting out in makeup. They have a very broad range of different size brushes and style of brushes in this kit. Now, funnily enough, just a couple of weeks ago, I brought a set of brushes off eBay from Jessup that are green, and I actually found out that it's the exact same Sonia Kashuk set, and obviously the Sonia Kashuk set is no longer available. So I will link on eBay where I bought those Jessup brushes. They are exactly the same, only difference being that they're green and they say Jessup on them. And actually I'm pretty sure that the Jessup brushes were in fact cheaper than the Sonia Kashuk ones. So if you'd like to see how I achieved this look and incorporated these brushes into my daily routine, please keep watching.
First, I'm taking the flat brush with my Napoleon Perdis pre-foundation primer and placing it on my face. I did find that this brush was quite soft considering how dense the bristles were. Next, I'm taking my Professional Pore Minimizer and putting that on my cheeks, the side of my head, my nose and my chin. Next, I'm using the buffing brush and my Napoleon Perdis Sheer Genius and starting to buff that over the skin. This brush was a little bit too dense, I felt, and I did have a little bit of bristle loss. If I was to use this set again, I would be using a different brush to apply my foundation. Next, I'm taking the flat contour brush and my RCMA highlight and contour palette in the shade S2 and starting to create some definition. I did find that this brush was quite successful in creating the look that I was after and easy to blend that contour out. I'm taking that same contour brush and the RCMA highlight and contour palette, now using shade S5 to deepen that contour, and I am now noticing that I have a gigantic bug bite on my neck, and so if any of you noticed that, my apologies, I didn't realize until after filming. In retrospect, I should have used my angled face brush for the foundation, but instead I'm using with this RCMA cream blush palette using Gin and Pink, and I sort of overdid the blush, so I'm just using the remaining foundation on the foundation brush to buff that out. Cool bananas! Taking the concealer brush and the RCMA highlight and contour palette using the salmon shade to eliminate the dark circles under my eyes. And I kind of wish that this brush was a little wider. I took a little bit extra time to do the work, but I mean, it did a perfectly acceptable job. Just defining that contour and taking across my nose, the middle of my forehead, and now I'm just blending that out. Taking my Wild Ferns Bee Venom Lip Pumper and just applying that as usual. Next, I'm taking the powder brush and my Mercier translucent powder. I'm going to be applying that quite heavily under the eye area to really set that, and then dusting what remains over the rest of my face. Included is a spoolie, so I'm just going to be brushing my brows through. Next, I'm taking the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil and I'm going very light on the brows. I'm going to start feathering hairs in. I want a very natural brow, and I'm just defining the front half of that lower arch, feathering some more hairs in, and filling in the sparse areas, and then defining the tail. Next, I'm just brushing those brows through and concealing only the lower arch of my brow just to keep it natural. Next, I'm taking Bravo Conditioning Primer and using it to set my brows instead of priming them. Next, I'm using Benefit Highbrow to highlight, and I will be doing a full review of these new Benefit brow products, so subscribe so you can be alerted when the video comes out. As always, I'm using my Urban Decay Primer Potion in Original and just applying that straight on the lid and then blending that out. Using this small eyeshadow brush and my favourite palette for everyday makeup, my Tarte Rainforest After the Dark palette, I'm taking the lightest pink shade and starting to buff that all over the eyelid. This eyeshadow brush was nice and soft and applied the eyeshadow evenly. Next I'm taking a crease brush and the brown and tan shade, mixing those together and taking that through the crease. Now I forgot to show what the brush looked like at the beginning of this section of the tutorial. If you'd like to see what the brushes look like up close, you can follow me on Instagram, LoveLadyLux, and I'll be posting pictures of the brushes throughout the week. Using this fluffy blending brush, there's no product on this brush. I'm just going to be going into that crease area and buffing that out in back and forth as well as circular movements. This is a very soft brush, excellent for blending, and I will be using it again. I'm taking the crease brush and this shimmery dark plum shade. I'll be placing that on the outer corner and blending that over as the product lessens on the brush. Taking that same crease brush and this mauve tone, I'm going to be applying that in the transition from the dark plum to that light pink that we placed earlier, dragging that across to blend the two. Taking that fluffy blending brush and just going in circular motions to make sure there are no harsh edges. Next I'm taking this small eyeshadow brush and the highlight shade and taking that to brighten the inner corner. This was a great brush for precision work. I will be using this to highlight the inner corner in the future. I'm just taking what product remains on that brush up through the arch. Next I'm taking the angled brush and the gold eyeshadow and placing that on the lower lash line. This angled brush was great for placing the colour down and would be great for doing gel liner or wing liner as well. Next I'm using my Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara and generously coating the lashes. I won't be wearing false lashes because this is an everyday look and I do not have the time nor the patience to be putting on false lashes every day. Next I'm taking this large fluffy eyeshadow brush and I'll actually be using this to do my contour. Just taking this bronzer shade and taking that through my cheekbones. I really appreciate the precision that I have with this brush, but it's fluffy enough that I was able to blend it out. I definitely have appreciation for this kind of brush now, and it's not really a brush that I had considered using previously. Taking that same large fluffy eyeshadow brush and I'm going to be using that for the blush as well. Just buffing that over the cheeks. And I'm all for multi-purpose, so using that same brush I'm going to be putting that through the highlight champagne color and taking that along the high point of my cheekbone. This is definitely one of my favorite highlighters. It's just so beautiful and so luminous. This is the last step, taking my Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream and applying that over my lips with a lip brush, just to keep them hydrated and looking healthy. I tend not to wear lipstick every day. I just want to keep it easy and natural.
So that completes the final look. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. I do really feel that these brushes would be very useful for somebody starting out in makeup. The brushes are very versatile, good quality, and it's very obvious what some of the brushes are meant to be used for. With them being synthetic brushes, there was a small amount of fallout, mainly on the brush where I applied my foundation, but I think that more comes down to my technique than the actual brush itself, just because I am used to being quite rough with the foundation brush when I'm using it. This would be really good for somebody just starting off in makeup until they got more comfortable with using brushes, and then after that they could then invest a more higher end quality brush. So don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, please comment down below. If you like these types of tutorials, please let me know. As a side note, I do really like Tarte's Rainforest After Dark palette, especially for those people that are green-eyed like myself. It is a very versatile palette and it includes everything you need to do a basic face every day. This was LoveLadyLux and I will see you next time.